welcome to episode 24 of Scar Bears. I'm Chris DT Gordon. So great to have you here with me today. As always, I have to tip my metaphorical hat to Nate Barron for that fantastic theme music. Fantastic as well. If you want your own theme music, reach out to him at Nate Barron. Well, I looked and there are no new reviews. So I decided I'm going to transform this Transformer. This is Brawn. Now, he was one of my all-time favorite OG Transformers back in the day. I think because he was small, but he was incredibly strong. I think with the original power rankings, he was second in strength only to Optimus Prime. So I really liked him. So this is the new version. It's pretty simple. You take off the extra tire here, and you bring down the rear, and then you pop out the arms here, and that rear tire, that extra tire, that spare tire, also has rocket launchers in there. So you can attach the rocket launcher onto his arm in the hole right there, and there you go. He's very movable. He's got a lot of articulation there, so it's pretty cool for a little guy. Makes the old school Transformers look very archaic. So he's very posable. I like him a lot. All right. So today I'm going to talk with my new friend Bridgid Ruden, who is a survivor of a traumatic brain injury, which she experienced in 2008. And she has used her experience to become a Reiki practitioner, inspirational speaker, and author. Well, today's sponsor is more of a tribute. Man, I've been doing a lot of tributes this year. Well, this tribute is to notorious RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who proved to us over and over again that some heroes don't wear capes, they rock a robe. All right, I hope you enjoy my conversation with Bridgid. Hey everyone, welcome back to Scar Bears. This is Chris DT Gordon. As always, I am very thankful that you are here with me today. Well, today I'm joined by my new friend, Bridgid Ruden. How are you today, Bridgid?
Wonderful, and so grateful to be here.
Excellent, and I'm grateful to have you here. Now, we have a couple of things in common. First of all, you are also a Midwesterner, and you are calling us from Iowa, correct?
Correct. Solon, Iowa.
Where was that again? I'm sorry.
Solon, Iowa.
Solon. All right. And where is that? I don't recognize that town name.
Near Iowa City, Iowa. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in that area.
Okay, excellent. All right. Have you lived in Iowa your entire life, or?
I have.
Okay. All right. You're not a transplant like me. I originally grew up in Michigan, and now I live just north of you in Minnesota.
Okay.
So, excellent. And something else that we also have in common is that we've discovered our life's purpose, or a life's purpose for ourselves, through a traumatic event. And before we get to that event, why don't you give me a little more background of, who you were before it, and what inspired you to become who you were before that event?
I am from Dubuque, Iowa. I'm the oldest of 8 children, so I helped my mom a lot. And I guess when I was in 2nd grade, I told people, someday I'm going to be a nurse. And that came true. I ended up going to college in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Mount Mercy. And from there, I went to University of Iowa, where I got my master's degree of science, and then became a pediatric nurse practitioner. During that time, I had 3 children. I have a husband. We were very active and doing a lot of fun as a family. Anything else?
No. Well, I guess what did you enjoy doing? You know, what were some activities that you and your family enjoyed participating in?
Anything having to do with the kids, whether it's sports or choir, because I have um, two of my children are beautiful singers, and my son is more of a athlete. So anything like that was just a joy and a dream. And we all love the outside. So from canoeing to camping to you name it, we love it.
Excellent. That's always. I know camping is one of those double-edged swords. It's fun to do, but taking kids out of that regular routine is sometimes a house of cards. Depending on if it's comfortable to sleeping or if there are animals making noise outside. So it's always an adventure, no matter what.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you could take me to 2008. What happened during that year?
Well, I went on a usual bicycle accident. I mean, a bicycle ride. Sometimes I'll make mistakes with my words because of my brain injury. It's called
Hmm.
aphasia. And you
Okay.
might see me tap on my neck, and I might forget where I was at in the conversation.
Hmm.
But I was on a bike ride in the morning with a wonderful girlfriend, and she said to me, because we started to talk, side by side, as girls have a tendency to do a lot, I suppose. And she said, Bridgid, let's not tell any more till we get to the wider trail. And I said, sure. And all I remember then is going over railroad tracks and had to go down a hill. And at the bottom of the hill, there was thick mud and water. And I guess I was thrown 30 feet onto the concrete.
Oh my goodness.
I have no memory. My good friend Angie said that I was bleeding from my mouth and ear, and I was in and out of consciousness. Thank God, the neurologist said to me that you were so close to the University of Iowa hospital. He said, or you never would have lived going to a smaller hospital.
Hmm.
And so by the time I got there, things got worse. I was in a lot of pain, obviously, but not making any sense with my words. So I had an emergent brain surgery. And then they went and checked the CT several hours later, and they're like, oh my gosh, we got to do this again because the swelling increased more than it had, etc. And then I seemed to get better. And which is so common about brain injured survivors is we're on a bit of a roller coaster. And really good things happen, and then boom, it can move you back down. And so they thought I was doing great, and they put me to a step down unit. And my husband and my mom were like, something's not right. They saw more of increased symptoms, and it was a Sunday, so my husband um, tried to talk to all the way up to the head honcho, and the chief neurosurgeon wasn't available, but a fellow was, and he decided to go ahead and order an MRI. And if he didn't, I wouldn't be alive because I needed another
Mm.
emergent surgery because my brain was swollen and bleeding.
Oh wow.
So from there, I forget how long I was in a coma, uh, but I went to recovery for several weeks. And to give you an idea of how I really was then coming from recovery to, see, here I go, sorry.
No worries.
In recovery from brain injury, I came out of a coma as if I was 3 years old again. I had to relearn everything: how to walk, how to talk, how to read, how to write. And my cognitive decline was way down. So every day was a journey. I had huge changes in my life. I couldn't be the mom I was before, the wife I was before, or the pediatric nurse practitioner physician would say, Bridgid, you can't go back. 90% of you is, your brain is so, been so altered, endangered, or you know what I'm saying when I say words like that. And I thought, I'm going to show you. So the challenging thing, though, is my 8-year-old became my mother. And that broke my heart because I couldn't get the names of, she loves animals. I couldn't get that. She would try to teach me basic card games. I couldn't get those. And she was very frustrated with me. Come on, be my mom. And I couldn't. So where do you want me to go from there?
Well, I do want you to go back a little bit. When the moment of the accident, you said that you went down a decline and there was mud. Did your bike get stuck in the mud and that propelled you forward?
No, sorry. It somehow, there was enough water and it threw me forward.
Okay. All right.
Straight up a hill.
Wow.
This hill.
Yeah. Okay. So, what kind of games, like, I guess, what was the frustrating part? Like, were you not understanding the rules when your daughter was trying to teach you these games, and it was hard to keep the rules intact or keep them straight?
And I have short-term memory also, but she taught me how to use the microwave, and she had to help me several times. I had a hard time reading a recipe of something I had cooked, years before. It was too much. And I'd call my mom and I'd cry and like, Mom, I don't understand what this is saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have not experienced that sensation, but I can just imagine that was very frustrating for you. And so what helped you move forward? Because without spoiling anything, you have moved forward. So what got you through that hard situation of having your 8-year-old be your mother?
She still thinks she is, and she turns 21 in 2 days.
Today?
In 2 days.
Oh, 2 days. Oh, well, happy. What's her name?
Molly.
Molly, happy early birthday if you watch this. Probably after you turn 21. So hopefully you're safe, whatever you do. So anyway, how did Molly help you move forward?
Well, a lot of people did. I needed so much help. I don't know if you want to hear the story of what happened when I was in the coma, regarding angels.
If you are comfortable sharing, I'm comfortable listening.
Okay. There were 3 archangels behind me when I was dying, and they were telling me they were with me. The one name I'm remembering is Archangel Raphael, who is a major healing angel. And the other one was Haniel, and I forget the third one. And I said, well, I can so see myself do this. I said, well, can we talk about this? And they said, okay. I said, I have 3 children and a wonderful husband, and I love to help people heal. Is there any way that I can stay here? So they had to talk to the big God, the divine, and it was reported back to me that, you're going to need a lot of help. But you can make it. It might take you a while, but you can come back. I guess in part probably to who I am today.
And so go ahead. I'm sorry.
I didn't know what to say. So that kind of got a spark going, I think, from a different concept. And then I would get senses, feelings of what I got to do next, because I didn't believe this happened. I had physicians telling me, the first time, one physician who checked because I had issues with eye problems, and I'm walking up to him and he's looking at my CT, and he looks at me again and he pauses, and then his mouth opens. He goes, I can't believe you're walking to me. I can't believe you're here right now. And my Aunt Katie said, see what I mean, Bridgid? And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I don't get this. This makes no sense. So I had to start going back to my chart from my whole hospitalization and try so hard to understand everything that happened to me. And I started documenting that. And it was a lot of hard work because I have had to learn how to type everything. But it took me, I think, a year. And I had to see speech therapists, occupational physical therapists, et cetera, et cetera. And so I decided, I wonder if they would let me present to them. And I had help, of course, from my husband, but to get a PowerPoint presentation going. And then towards the end, there were several of them just in tears, and one had to leave the room because she was the student that worked with me who was so precious in how she cared for me. And I got done, and I'll call her the head honcho, said to me, Bridgid, we have never in our practice seen a person with severe traumatic brain injury ever speak this well and in the manner that you are doing so.
That's fantastic.
So, then from there, I said, I'd like to share more stories. And in my PowerPoint, I actually show pictures of me in the coma, pictures of the CTs that were so bad and the MRI, and which to me gives people more of a view of this was reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it's still, sometimes still I'm shocked at what has occurred. So I started presenting my story wherever I was needed, at brain injury conferences, at hospitals, at just at churches, wherever people wanted to hear and be given hope, that there is hope for all of us, no matter what our trauma is. We can do it.
That's fantastic.
Well, now I forget what I was going to say.
I'm sorry if I threw you off track there.
The most incredible places when I presented in Canada. You know, I've never been out of the country, and that was pretty awesome to present there.
Cool.
And so then after that time, I thought, you know, people had been asking me to talk, but sometimes they weren't. And I thought, I have to do something. I am not the household maid. So I started writing articles, you know, little ones or blogs or whatever people call them. And then I was asked to be on a radio show and asked to be on a television show. And then someone asked me to write a chapter in a book. And basically it was about patients that, you know, had been diagnosed with horrible things, but moved on and were doing awesome. Mm-hmm. So I wrote a chapter in that. And then I knew that when I spoke and shared my voice, my journey, I provided people a lot of hope, a lot of joy when I talked, belief in a power greater than themselves. And I thought, I want to do this further. So I slowly, and once again, all these things, I had tons of help. Okay. And they were given by, obviously, God, the divine. And thank God I have them, or have had them, and still need them. Mm-hmm. But I wrote my book, and it's called Discovering My Life's Purpose from Tragedy to Triumph.
I'm going to share the cover here, and yeah, so here it is. The cover of the book, Discovering My Life's Purpose from Tragedy to Triumph. And it is available on Amazon Prime and at Barnes and Noble. And I'm just saying that for our podcast listeners who can't see the image of the cover. But Bridgid, why don't you go ahead and give us maybe the inside cover synopsis of the book. So how would you describe this book in maybe a paragraph or two?
Well, let's see, I lost it. The editor, I guess, of the book, she's the one that said, I want you to start from birth to go forward because of my memory loss. Let's see how you can remember and what other people can help you remember. And so that's what I did. And it's kind of interesting, the pattern, the journey that flows, that I never really lost my nursing ability. And the other thing I talk about is that I wanted to share with people the things that help me heal. And that's including support groups for whatever you're suffering from. Get involved with other people that get it. They're on the same page. You never feel crazy. Nutrition is huge. I started craving broccoli and salmon. And I talked to a woman who's an MS survivor, and she said, that's telling you something. So I changed my diet. I exercise frequently. I get chiropractic care, massages, Reiki when I need that. I forget what else. Acupuncture.
Wow. Okay.
To heal me. And that's the key, that before I can truly help anybody else heal, I have to take care of myself first.
Exactly. You can't pour from an empty pitcher. So if you could you please talk a little bit about the Reiki? I am not quite familiar with that.
Well, when I was in graduate school, I learned healing touch. And then the thing that got me driven again is now I've published a book and people aren't calling me much to speak. What can I do? And I have to do something. So I learned healing touch in graduate school, but then I went on to practicing Reiki. And Reiki is a form of alternative medicine. It's a universal life energy healing. Another incredible opportunity for me to assist others towards healing, with God's help, obviously. And believe it or not, after the book, and then after I started doing this, I truly have started to believe, finally, that my life's purpose didn't leave me. It merely merged to a higher realm by the grace of God. So now, with all that's gone on in our world, I am doing distance Reiki to people. Anything that's affecting your mind, body, or spirit, I'm there to help. And it's the angels in me that I'm guided through you to help heal in whatever way they want me to.
And I see that in this cover art, you have the two angels here, and their wings are connecting. They form a heart, and so that is very emblematic of many things about your journey.
And I was born on Valentine's Day.
Well, that works too. So it's a cornucopia of meaning that that cover has. So again, it can be found at Amazon Prime and Barnes and Noble, and any other places that you know of where someone could find this book.
As I say, yeah, Barnes and Noble, but then locally here, a lot of bookstores.
Excellent.
So those, I think, are the two top places for everyone to obtain it. And I also had it made also as an audiobook, which my sister is the person that is the speaker for that, because I make these mistakes, and her name is Rachel Lauer. And because so many disabled said, Bridgid, I can't read. I can't. That's why the print in the book is the largest they'd let me do, as well as for people to hear stories, especially now driving to work or wherever.
Yes.
Maybe you're not driving anymore.
Yep. I like listening to podcasts and audiobooks while I'm exercising, while I'm going out for my runs. So that's a great way to deliver your message. That's fantastic. That's an option.
And just so people know, I'm also available if anyone wants me to share my story, give hope to people, or wants to receive distance Reiki from me. I'm here.
Excellent. So I guess that's a good segue to asking you, how can people reach out to you?
I think Facebook is one way, and I'll tell you what the title of my business Facebook is. It's called Reiki, Reiki, practitioner, inspirational speaker, and author.
Okay.
And then you can read more about my journey that way also. But also a good way to get more direct attention with me is my email at bmruden@southslope.net.
Excellent. All right. So I have two more questions. First of all, what I know you have a lot of inspirational messages to share, Bridgid, and you have today, and I'm grateful for them. What is one you want to share with someone if they were to take one thing away from this conversation?
Believe in yourself. Believe, if you can, a higher power is something that will guide and assist you in every way possible. Don't stop. I don't care if they're little baby steps. Recovery from brain injury is a lifelong process. But I believe in you all. I do. And I'm sending you hugs and much love your way.
Greatly appreciated. And I truly believe that, progress is progress, no matter how slow. So, those baby steps are very valuable to take. And so my last question, and my audience loves to hear this answer. What is your favorite dinosaur?
Do you think I have a clue in the name of dinosaurs and remembering any of the basic ones?
Well, I don't know your background in dinosaurs, so.
I would define it as a dinosaur that doesn't quit.
Okay.
That is strong despite significant consequences. How's that sound?
That, two come to mind. I picture the Triceratops, the three-horned dinosaur with the crest behind its head.
Okay.
And then my personal favorite dinosaur, the Ankylosaurus. It's not a very well-known dinosaur, but it has the club tail, and it has armor. It's like a giant turtle with armored spikes coming out the sides of the shell, and then a big club tail. So I think those are two really good ones. Very, very, very strong and persistent dinosaurs, I think.
Okay.
So there you go. All right. Well, Bridgid, it's been a blessing and an honor to talk with you. I am very thankful for your recovery and your continued progress that you're making, and your helping spirit to assist others with their personal journeys. So thank you for sharing your story, and please have a great day.
You as well. And I just want to say I'm sending blessings and much love to you all.
Thank you. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Bridgid. Again, if you want to find her book, it is called Discovering My Life's Purpose from Tragedy to Triumph. You can find it at Amazon Prime or Barnes & Noble, or if you live in her area in Iowa, you can find it at a bookstore there. If you want to reach out to her, you can find her on the interwebs on Facebook at Bridgid Ruden or Bridgid Ruden, or Reiki practitioner, inspirational speaker, and author. So those two Facebook pages. You can also reach out to her at bmruden@southslope.net. And she does have a website, bridgidruden.com, but it's having some issues like the internet sometimes does, and hopefully that website will be up and running soon. If you want to reach out to me to figure out what I have going on in the world of speaking and other endeavors, you can find me at chrisdtgordon.com. You can also link up with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram at Chris DT Gordon. Thanks a lot for joining me. As always, have a fantastic day. Remember to pass on perfection and go for greatness.